Have you ever lacked options or felt that you don't have any? It really feels debilitating. It makes you feel as if you have run to the end of the rope of your life, where you're resorting to some desperation. I've been there. When I'm in a position that I feel that I do not have options, the first feeling that comes to me is defeat. The next feeling that comes to me is surrender to whatever is happening. That puts me in a victim mode. When you fall into the victimhood trap, you have negative thoughts. You literally do not know how to see the positive in any situation. And you look so much at the door that is closed that you don't realize the open doors that are right next to that. The worst part is if you've put yourself in the victim mode and then other people realize that that's where you're existing, they will take advantage of that. So you're making your situation worse and more sucky. Don't get me wrong, the moment anything happens to us in our lives, that's the first stage we get into before you juice yourself up and you're like, I gotta fight out of this situation. But yes, we all end up in the victim mode. The problem is staying there. You always have to get up, dust yourself off, and keep it moving. The time that I felt that I did not have options was when everything and anything in my life was going haywire. At least that's what I felt. Let's start with the fact that my health was going downhill. I live with sickle cell disease. It's a lifestyle for me. I had ignored that because I was working too much. I started to have complications with some organs where they had to come up with remedies that I was not using before, but now I gotta use them in order to stay healthy. I forgot you can change your job, but you cannot change your body. Once it's gone that way to the left, baby. At this point of my life, I was feeling defeated, overwhelmed. I felt like I was in this fight alone. These were not facts. This is what I felt. And I felt that I did not have options. Maybe, see how I was digging my own hole? Maybe if I worked more and saved more money, I will be able to take more time off in order to take care of my health. See how dumb I was? How dumb that sounds. But I'm sure you've done that before. Where you think that just keep grinding and grinding and grinding. But you know what? When it gets to October, I will take the whole month off and take care of myself and then rejuvenate. But what we forget is that time is not promised. You need to do something right now. That's where I was. The next example that I have for when I felt that I did not have options was my job. It got to a point where it was so overwhelming. There was so much work to be done and everything was an emergency. Of course, there was a lot of lack of planning, but you know who suffers? The employee. I do love what I do and I did love what I did, but the rate that I was doing it at was unhealthy, toxic, I would say. But that meant working till 1 a.m., not showing up as a good friend to my friends. It was more, oh, what do you need? If it's money, I can send you quick, because I don't need to be there. Not showing up for my son because I'm an absentee parent. I worked a lot. And also not showing up for my hobbies because I always wanted to be a very well-rounded, hobbied woman. The job was paying me really well. Comfortable, providing me with a lifestyle that I desired. The lifestyle that I thought my job was the only one that could provide for me. Does that even sound right? Because there's no only, as long as you've been able to achieve something once, you can always achieve it again. But we all forget that. So whatever was at stake right now was that my son would grow up knowing that I have a mother. Yes, she works hard, but all she does is work. She does not have anything else because he does not see me existing in relationships where love is being offered through friendship. And I wanted to model that for him. My life started becoming very complicated, for lack of better wording. My son needed me more and he started asking me to attend most of his school events. At work, I was still needed because they had these expectations. My responsibilities were not getting any less, but their demands were getting higher. And for me, I was not getting any rest. I was torn between two worlds, trying to make everybody happy just forgetting about myself. My job was providing me, the lifestyle that I wanted, the travel, financing the travel that I was doing with my son, and also helping me with keeping the promises that I had told him that we can go anywhere he wants. My son one day sat me down and told me, "Mommy, I don't care where you take me. You can just hang out with me and that will be enough." I realized that all this that I was doing to him, it was not making sense because it was still taking his mother away from him. And that was the wake-up call. And I needed to find another way to be able to serve all the masters, but most importantly, me. And now I'm going to teach you how to find yourself another way. I like seeing things in front of me, and it helps me internalize and also analyze and know if I'm lying to myself. What I did was I took pen and paper and started putting my priorities down. My first priority was my health. I had to make sure that I'm okay, because if I'm not okay, who's going to take care of my son, or who's going to work and provide for this household? I knew that I needed to put myself first. So I put my name first there, Mary, and I put health right next to it. And then I skipped a couple of lines, wrote the second thing, put my son's name, and I said time with mom. I realized that my job came at the end of the list. It had to go because this was the one thing that was affecting everything that was on that list that was higher in priority than it. If this is the one thing that is making your life unbearable, it gotta go for you. Go ahead and take a pen and paper. Write down everything that is a priority to you. Once you have written this down, put it in order of preference. The most important is at number 1. Just go down until the list is over. And then look at the most problematic thing that you have on the list. It's usually down there, but it's affecting the rest. That's the one we need to sort out. If you're able to handle that, your whole life is changing. Step 2, what are your values right now? That does not mean what your values were 3 years ago need to be the same right now. So identify what you value more right now, your core values. This will help you in guiding that priority list, because if something is there and is not aligning with your values, it gotta go. Anything that usually doesn't align with your values in life usually has to go. When I was not showing up as the parent that I would like to be, I realized that I wanted more rest. That became a value for me, a core value for me. If it does not have rest in it, it cannot exist in my life. That guided my compass also while I was getting rid of things. After you have identified your values, make sure that you identify the right things. Look at what is important to you right now. If family is a big value for you, at that point, anything that is affecting your family and the family structure has to go. Use that as a guide. The third thing now that I did is I wrote out my short-term goals and my long-term goals. For the short-term goals, these are goals that will show you that you are at least moving in the right direction, and also the achievements. They're easier to achieve. They're milestones that you can easily achieve, so you can find a sense of progress and also build your self-esteem, because we need to do that here. The long-term goal is usually a vision, something that is far out. You can hit that goal either right now or later, but usually it's later. It's usually farther in the future. Write those out in every aspect of your life. That's what I did. My short-term goal was getting my health in order, where I would go have a regimen that I would work out with my doctor on what I needed to follow and keep all those upcoming appointments. That was my short-term goals. For the long-term was I wanted to take care of the organ that was bringing problems inside my body within the next 3 years. This is an example. For you, go ahead and write down your short-term goal. Let's just say, like when you're trying to fix a relationship with your significant other, you can say, have a date night every Friday. That's a short-term goal that's easily achievable, and you can do it every Friday. It's just once a week. For the long-term goal, you can say, I would like to have gone with my significant other on vacation, fully paid for, every quarter of the year, or every once a year. That's okay. It's a long-term goal that you have to save for, but you're both looking forward to it, and in order for you to go on vacation, you have to be in good terms. So it will also keep you in good terms. See what I'm doing there? After identifying my priorities, making sure that I have my short-term and long-term goals, and also putting my value in perspective, I was able to make drastic changes, or a lot of changes that are working for me right now in my life. I was able to leave my job, start a business, learning a new skill, moved countries. My son is flourishing. I get to see him every day. Every morning I make him breakfast. I pick him up from outside because the bus just drops him off. We spend a lot more time together. We're bonding. I am able to travel still with him and have all these options for him while also taking care of my health with very good doctors. I have a very good team. So I'm loving it, and I'm having fresh fruits and vegetables in Kenya. And I want that for you. I want all the life changes, all the good things to come your direction. It's scary, but do it scared. The only person who will benefit out of all of this once you're done is you. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you have any questions or you need any direct follow-ups and answers, leave a comment down below and I will be sure to respond back to you. See you next time. Bye.